This is me, Sophie. I run this channel, and on here I talk about veganism, I talk about how to find joy in simple life, how to have a wholesome life, and really just trying to document my quest of a good life, if that's a thing. So if that interests you, just subscribe and let's move along. If you didn't know, I launched my first English ebook. It's all about my take on veganism and 20 recipes that I developed with my boyfriend Daniel. We photographed the whole thing. I created it from start to finish, and I'm really proud of it. So there's going to be a link in the description box below to that. And let's just, again, move on with the video. We got our hands on a new coffee maker, which is very exciting because our old little coffee maker, may rest in peace, because it just fell apart. And we also have some Oatly, which is really hard to come across these days in this country, and it's also very, very exciting. So my coffee is heavenly delicious today. I've been thinking about a lot recently. Not that I think less in any other day in my life, but recently my just focal point of mental focus has been to let go of my need to plan. And I know I've said this a lot in my videos, but this past week I really realized that I derived my security from having a plan and being able to execute it. And when I couldn't go forward with my plan, my sense of security was impaired. So I think I started to realize that that's not a good way around building my security and deriving my security from. So I don't say this is like this has ended and I figured it all out, but at least I now know that my sense of safety shouldn't come from being able to execute the plans that I dream up, because life happens, the pandemic happens, and inevitably I'm just not going to be able to fulfill those plans to the degree to which that I imagined myself to be able to. So what I am slowly trying to do is release that sense of clinging to plans. I've done that last year a lot, but I've specifically started doing that with a sense of safety, and I started looking around myself of how I can replace that sense of security. And then it hit me that it's not necessarily outside factors that I should derive my sense of security and safety from, that it should come from myself and from within. And once that concept is solidified in my mind, I think I will be quite secure in myself and self-reliant. And I honestly believe, and I've always said this, but I never knew how true it was and how often I needed reminding of that, is that a person who doesn't know themselves is someone who's insecure and who's easily swayed by circumstances, by events, and it's really at the mercy of outside factors when it comes to a sense of self-reliance. And that's what I'm trying to practice, because I tend to believe that I know myself quite well, and I want to derive my sense of safety and security from now on from myself, and not from my plans, and not from my ability to follow through with those plans. So this morning I shall dig deep and just enjoy my day, enjoy this damn coffee because it's really, really good, and just have a good day and be grounded in myself and know that I am exactly where I need to be, and life will lead me to where I need to be, because all I have is this present moment, and in this present moment is exactly where I need to be. So that can stretch forever and ever, and I just need to remind myself of that on a daily basis. If it's a hard day, on an hourly basis or on a minutely basis. But I'll get that. I will get that, and you will get that too. You'll get there with me. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. I think when it comes to where we get our sense of security from, it really is about our ability to self-regulate emotionally and spiritually and physically. And I think it's just a long way of saying that you have to have self-discipline to self-regulate. And I've listened to a really interesting video from Teal Swan, I'll link it below, about self-discipline, and it really just opened up my eyes. And I've also read Ritual's book, Finding Ultra, and he also talks about how mood follows action. And I know I've talked about this in my previous video. There's construction going. It's fine, it's good, all good. And whenever I feel low and anxious and just not in the mood for anything, then I'll just remind myself that mood will follow after I took the action, and that self-discipline is really what is the culprit of a good life and a life well lived. And I just have to have the self-discipline to get myself out of bed each morning and get myself moving and get myself out in nature, even if it's cold and rainy and windy outside, because I know it will serve me well, and I know it will help me on the long run, and it will help me get out of my own head. So the concept of being self-reliant, I think, is very closely tied to being self-disciplined. So from now on, I will remind myself of that too, daily, that self-discipline is what will make me more secure in myself and more self-reliant again. So I think there's a lot of ways that one can be self-disciplined and one can apply discipline. But for me, it's the two major parts of that is eating and exercising. And I know it might be the same for you, or you could have something completely different than me. But for me, eating has always been a tricky subject because I've had an eating disorder for a good part of a decade when I was in my teens and 20s, and I understand the tricky nature of my relationship with food. And then also this is very closely tied to my relationship to exercise, because I have to switch that in my head that I exercise because I want to feel good in my body and I want to do good for my body, and I don't exercise to look a certain way. And I know this is quite cheesy to say, but it's very, very true. And at the same time, it's really difficult to apply. So I think I'll dive deeper into the relationship with food and exercise in a different video, because I think it's worth its own segment. But for now, I just want to say that applying self-discipline to the way I eat, to avoid my comfort food, which is highly processed, really, really dry crackers, and trying not to not indulge but binge on food when I have a lot of other way healthier options at hand, and it's a way of really mentally training myself for a better life and a better health. So I think I'll end this video here because it will get quite long, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching until the end, and I hope it helps you, and I'm excited to dig deeper into more spiritual and more mental videos and content on this channel, because that's really close to me and close to my heart. And I might also dig into some business related topics. Let me know if that would be interesting to you, because I think starting a business or just any relationship, any human relationship, is a spiritual relationship in itself, and it has layers and it has implications. Even if you choose to remove the complexity of the relationship, it still should be a conscious decision from your side. So that's that, and thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you liked this content, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Damn, this one is good. So I'm currently editing today's video, and I just remembered something, that if a negative emotion comes up, if it's feeling insecure or impatient or angry at a situation, I think there's a lot of value in sitting still with that emotion and see what it teaches us. So I encourage you guys to feel into and lean into whatever uncomfortable or negative emotion arises within you, because there's a lot to learn from it. And just like I told you in this video, I just gained some really interesting insight into what makes me feel safe. So with this, I'll end this video, and I hope you like it, and stay sane, and I'll see you soon.